The gentlelady from Minnesota,
Excuse me, Massachusetts. I apologize.
The gentlelady from Minnesota made a reference to the United States in comparison to other countries. I want to hold this chart up here. You may not be able to see. This is the number of gun deaths. The UK way down here, France, Germany, Denmark, Switzerland. I mean, all free countries. You may not be able to see because it's so small compared to the United States. You sure as hell can see the number of gun deaths here in the United States. It is unacceptable. It is unacceptable. And it is about time the Democrats and Republicans all agree that it is unacceptable. And that's what this debate is about. So, we want to talk about other countries around the world that are free. Lots of countries that enjoy freedom do not have the number of gun deaths and massacres. Their parliaments and their congresses are not meeting to grieve over the execution and the mass killing of little children in schools like we do on a regular basis. The only question for people here is whether we're going to do anything or whether this is going to be business as usual. Take the money from the gun lobby and do nothing. I now yield 2 minutes to the gentlewoman from North Carolina, a distinguished member of the Rules Committee, Ms. Ross.
Gentlewoman is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and Mr. Chairman. I rise today because there is no greater moral imperative for us as representatives than protecting the safety of our children and our residents. In recent weeks, our nation has been yet again shaken to its core by the senseless attack on our most vulnerable. Heartbreakingly, mass shootings have become a steady drumbeat in American life, striking community after community and instilling fear in the American people as we drop our kids off at school, go to the grocery store, or enter a house of worship. After each of these terrifying events, after the vigils have been held and the news cycle has moved on, there is one thing that never fades. Every person who has had a friend, neighbor, spouse, or child, Madam Speaker, taken by violence carries with them the heartbreaking pain of that incomprehensible loss. So what will it take for Republican leaders to join us in taking action? Because so many Republicans agree with us. How many kids need to die? How many families need to suffer before they finally say enough is enough? I've spent much of my public life in public service, and I believe in American democracy. And I still believe in the ability of men and women in this chamber to set their differences aside to make transformative change for the public good. My plea to my colleagues across the aisle is to stand up for what is right. Let's start the hard work of building a safer America. I come from a southern state with plenty of law-abiding gun owners, but people from across North Carolina have been reaching out to me and my office, including several Republicans and gun owners.
Gentlewoman's time
I
has
support the
expired.
rule and commend it to this body.